So we don't make the man them do them work. Too much crime. I take over here, some people go like say, and them are the lie, you know. See the liar! And they must take it by truth. Take on by truth. High and low place. God upon the throne. And if God upon the throne, this need to clean up. And the children them need to walk with pride and dignity. And them can't do it because we have some predator. I get to them and stop them in them track before time. These are the law of the earth. And if the law can't carry out the work in peace without interruption, somebody got to go. Someone got to go.
Where is it to them now?
Do your work with respect, pride, and dignity. Let no man stop you know, from execute righteousness upon earth. Who know the law? No other law, no let go do no. And if you back down, thief and murderer, I go become the law. I no come back down, regardless the talk I want to hear. Stand up for the country and move the hands of wicked from around us. We don't care who them is. No one is above the law. No one is above the law, God. We shape the heaven, your mind, the earth, the new heaven and the new earth, where we are going to repair and rectify. May I shape the kingdom of the wicked and put the grace of God upon the throne. Jamaica need to repair the damage. Damage mama, damage papa, and damage Pitney. All let loose in the kingdom and do all manner of evil. It must be a stoppage to that. If your mama can't control your son and your papa can't control your son, well, the law. God will deal with them. All vengeance belongs to God. All vengeance belongs to the Lord.
Gunman shot him up.
Alright. What do you mean about supporting them at home?
Yes.
JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share the news with someone today. Now onto the news. Man fatally shot by police in Grandspan, St. Andrew. A man was fatally shot by the police during an alleged confrontation in Grandspan, St. Andrew on Monday night. The deceased has been identified as 44-year-old Gerald Gallimore, otherwise called Birdie. Reports are that at about 11:30, police personnel were on an operation along Grandspan Drive in the area when Gallimore allegedly challenged the cops. During an alleged exchange, Gallimore was shot. According to the police, a Glock pistol fixed with a magazine containing 4 rounds of ammunition was seized from him. He was assisted to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he succumbed. The incident is being probed by the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM. Gallimore is the second fatal police shooting in the St. Andrew North Division in recent days. On Friday, Shaquille Dawkins, otherwise called Dog Teeth, was shot and killed at 100 Lane. His death sparked 2 days of protest by residents. Meanwhile, police fatalities in Jamaica to date have increased to 107. Some 28 incidents happened in January, another 28 in February, 25 in March, and 26 so far in April. Indicom continues to renew its call for body-worn cameras to be fitted to police personnel, especially for planned operations. At the end of 2024, a total of 189 people were killed by the security forces. In the meantime, the St. Andrew North Police are asking the following men who are persons of interest to turn themselves in. Ryan Richards of Red Light District, Irish Town, St. Andrew, who is wanted for shooting with intent. Tevin Harris, otherwise called Ratty, of 100 Lane, Red Hills Road, St. Andrew, who is wanted for murder. Daniel Wilson of Glen Drive, Cassava Peace, St. Andrew, who is wanted for shooting with intent. Kenil Copeland, otherwise called Bulby, of Cassava Peace, St. Andrew, who is wanted for murder and shooting. The police are also asking these wanted persons to turn themselves in. M.R. Grinham, otherwise called Bully Beef, of Andrew Penn, St. Andrew, who is wanted for murder. O'Shane Blackwood, who is wanted for murder, and Ryan Palmer, otherwise called Killy Killy, of Erie Castle, Stony Hill, St. Andrew, who is wanted for murder. Prisoner escapes custody at hospital. The Hunts Bay police have launched a manhunt for a prisoner who fled custody on Tuesday while being treated at a hospital in the corporate area. On the run is 29-year-old Garfield Diaz, otherwise called Camphor Ball, of St. Paul Lane, Kingston 11. The incident happened around 4 a.m. The police said Diaz was in custody on assault occasioning grievous bodily harm charges. He's of a dark complexion, medium build, and has scars on the left side of his head and right arm. Diaz has been asked to turn himself into the police. The police are also advising the public that harboring a fugitive is a criminal offense. Anyone knowing his whereabouts is being asked to contact the Hunts Bay Police at 876-923-7111, the 119 police emergency number, or the nearest police station. Gun and ammo seized in Brissett, Hanover, after driver flees traffic stop. An illegal gun and ammunition were seized by the police in Brissett District, Lucy, Hanover on Monday after a driver fled a traffic stop. Reports from the Lucy police are that at about 6:30 a.m., a team was on an operation along the Johnsontown Main Road and signaled the driver for a grey motor car to stop. However, he disobeyed and sped away. The lawmen went in pursuit of the vehicle and were informed by residents that the car went into the Brissett town community. They went in search of the motor car and were pointed to an area where it stopped before leaving the community. A search of the area was conducted, and the gun and ammunition were found in a shopping bag along the roadway and were seized. No one was arrested in relation to the seizure. The investigations continue. Meanwhile, a man was arrested in Castleton, St. Mary this morning over the seizure of a gun allegedly found at his home. The weapon is a 9mm pistol, which was loaded with 23 9mm rounds of ammunition. The police report that a team went to the area to conduct a targeted operation in the community. A house was searched and the weapon was found. The man was taken into custody. Investigations continue. Alleged gangster charge for attack on woman in Kingston Western. Detectives assigned to the Kingston Western Police Division have laid charges against an accused gang member for a gun attack on a woman in the division last year. 31-year-old Kim Shea, otherwise called Kimmy, of Wellington Road, Kingston 13, has been charged with shooting with intent, possession of prohibited weapon, using a firearm to commit a felony, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and being part of a criminal organization. The attack occurred on Sunday, March 17 last year on Raphael Road, Kingston 13. Investigators had reported that at about 10:40 p.m., the complainant was at her father's house when the accused and 7 other armed men approached her, seeking to know the whereabouts of her father. The men then set fire to a parked motor vehicle at the premises. The complainant ran in a bid to escape. She was chased by the accused and his accomplices, who fired at her as she ran. The accused and his accomplices then picked up spent casings from the scene and escaped on foot in the area. Following investigations, the accused was arrested and charged. Fire Brigade Commissioner defends firefighters amid criticisms over major Kingston blaze, poor access to fire hydrants, prank calls, and persons unfamiliar with emergency numbers stymied a more efficient effort from the Jamaica Fire Brigade to Monday's major fire in downtown Kingston. Commissioner of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Stuart Beckford, said on Tuesday, responding to criticisms leveled by members of the public regarding an alleged slow response to the fire, Beckford defended his officers and their actions. The early morning fire ravaged premises at the intersection of Charles Street and Luke Lane and left some 16 people, including 4 children, homeless.
My name is Stuart Beckford, Commissioner Jamaica Fire Brigade. This morning I want to shed some light on some allegations that have been made in the media by persons who were impacted by an unfortunate incident yesterday, a fire which took place at numbers 51 and 53 Charles Street and 121 and 123 Luke Lane, involving several dwelling houses. Now, At approximately 8:54 a.m., a police patrol vehicle drove into the York Park fire station and reported that there was a fire on Charles Street. When we turned our eyes to that direction, we could see dark black smoke billowing into the sky, which would suggest to us that the fire would have started maybe 10-15 minutes prior to them coming to us. It is instructive to know that no residents, even those who were being impacted, had the presence of mind to call the fire brigade. Now, we alerted the Trenchtown fire station and a unit immediately responded because that was the closest station to the incident. They got there under 5 minutes. When they got there, they saw several dwelling houses fully involved. We didn't wait on them to call for assistance because I've been seeing the level of smoke emitting in the general area of Charles Street. We immediately dispatched a water tender, a tanker, with a carrying capacity of 10,000 liters. Now, the first pumper that turned up on the scene has a carrying capacity of 3,800 liters of water and 200 liters of foam. Now, what we need to understand and what I need to explain to the public is that this 4,000 liters of water pumping at high pressure can be pumped out in less than 5 minutes, right? And that is why we rely so heavily on hydrants. And I want to put in a plug here because too often we turn up at scene and the hydrants are vandalized. Sometimes we are unable to gain access to them because persons are doing construction and they dump the construction material, whether it's sand or gravel, on the hydrants. Sometimes construction is taking place and they paved over the valve that we need to access to turn the hydrants on. So these are issues that we grapple with when we do turn up at some emergency scene. Now, yesterday water wasn't an issue. So I want to debunk this myth or this assertion by members of the community that the units turn up without water. What will we be going there to do? Water is our main medium of fighting fires. So without water, it makes no sense us turning up there, unless of course we are going to be subjecting ourselves to physical and verbal abuse from these residents. And I'm not going to be putting any member of my team at risk by sending out a unit without water. So that is patently false. One of the things that we also encountered yesterday, while we dispatched those 2 early units, the team still called for additional assistance. Now, the closest next unit to that would have been Alpha 3. They were out at an incident. The next closest would be Rallington Town. But by now, Rallington Town was sent on a wild goose chase because some smart aleck decided to place a prank call to the station that there was a fire at the Bellevue Hospital. When they turned up there was no fire. Once they reported that the incident was false, they were redirected to Charles Street and they immediately responded to lend support to the firefighting efforts there. I want to thank the men and women who courageously battled that blaze yesterday and prevented what could have been an even more significant disaster. Now, if residents of that community knew the number to their nearest fire station, which is the Trenchtown fire station, I am almost certain that the outcome of this incident would have been different. And so I want to use this opportunity to encourage Jamaicans, wherever you live, know the number to your nearest fire station. Keep it in your phone and keep it on speed dial. And for heaven's sake, when there is an unfolding emergency, don't take out your phone to record the incident. Use your phone to call the emergency services so we can put in a timely response. We don't drive around patrolling looking for fires. We react to a call. And so the earlier you call us, the better the outcome of that incident will be.
JBN keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.